Good day. Welcome to News Express. A political conversation is beginning to gain serious momentum across Nigeria, and it centers on a question that many once considered unlikely. And the question is northern Nigeria gradually becoming more open to Peter Obi and the political movement surrounding him ahead of the 2027 election? For years, conventional political thinking treated the North as a region with relatively predictable voting patterns, shaped by long-standing alliances, established party structures, and influential political networks. However, recent discussions, online surveys, grassroots conversations, and growing political engagement among younger voters are beginning to challenge some of those assumptions. While there is no universally verified pool confirming overwhelming support figures, the increasing visibility of pro-Obi conversations in parts of the North is attracting significant national attention and raising questions about whether the political landscape may be evolving. Part of what makes this discussion so important is the historical role northern Nigeria has played in shaping presidential elections. The region remains one of the most influential voting blocs in the country, meaning that any noticeable shift in public sentiment there immediately becomes politically significant. This is why even suggestions of changing attitudes are generating intense debates across party lines. Much of the attention comes from the growing visibility of obedient supporters within northern political discussions, particularly online. Digital platforms are increasingly filled with conversations from younger northerners discussing governance, economic hardship, insecurity, education, and unemployment. In many of these discussions, Peter Obi is often presented by supporters as an alternative voice associated with accountability, economic management, and reform-oriented leadership. This does not necessarily mean that traditional political loyalties have disappeared. Established party structures and influential political figures still maintain significant influence across the region. However, what appears to be changing is the willingness of some voters, especially younger demographics, to openly explore alternatives outside traditional voting patterns. That alone represents an important political development. Economic pressure is also playing a major role in these changing conversations. Across many northern communities, concerns about inflation, rising living costs, insecurity, and limited economic opportunities continue to dominate public discourse. In periods of economic strain, voters often become more open to political alternatives, particularly when they feel existing structures are not delivering expected improvements. This broader atmosphere of frustration has created space for new political narratives to gain traction. Another key factor is the changing nature of political communication in Nigeria. In previous election cycles, political influence depended heavily on traditional structures, such as local party leaders, regional endorsements, and fiscal rallies. Today, digital engagement has transformed how political ideas spread. Social media platforms now allow political movements to communicate directly with citizens, bypassing some traditional gatekeepers. These shifts has enabled movements like the obedient movement to maintain visibility even in regions where they previously had limited physical structures. At the same time, political observers caution against confusing online visibility with guaranteed electoral dominance. Nigeria's electoral landscape remains highly complex, and social media enthusiasm does not always translate directly into votes on election day. Ground-level organization, coalition building, grassroots mobilization, and regional alliances continue to play a decisive role in determining actual outcomes. Still, the growing conversations themselves are politically significant because they challenge long-standing assumptions. Even the perception that support patterns may be shifting can affect how parties strategize ahead of elections. Political parties do not only react to confirmed outcomes, they also react to emerging trends, public sentiments, and changing narratives. For the APC, discussions about rising northern openness towards Obi naturally attract attention because the region has historically been central to its electoral calculations. Any indication that opposition figures are gaining visibility or emotional connection among northern voters could influence future campaign strategies, alliance building, and messaging approaches. At the same time, opposition movements are also watching these developments carefully. A stronger northern presence for Obi or any opposition figure could reshape national electoral calculations, especially if combined with support in other regions. This is why conversations about northern political sentiments are now becoming central to broader discussions about 2027. Another important aspect of this evolving dynamics is generational change. Younger voters are increasingly participating in political discussions with priorities that sometimes differ from older political structures. Issues such as employment, economic opportunity, institutional trust, and governance performance are becoming more central than traditional political loyalties for many young Nigerians. This generational shift is gradually influencing how political support is expressed and organized. There is also the question of coalition politics. Nigerian presidential elections are rarely won by regional popularity alone. Success often depends on building broad alliances that cut across ethnic, religious, and regional lines. This means that even if support for Obi grows in parts of the north, sustaining and translating that support into electoral success will still require significant political organization and coalition management. The broader significance of the current conversation lies less in any single poll number and more in what the discussion represents. It reflects a political environment that is becoming less predictable, more fluid, and increasingly influenced by issues-based engagements rather than purely traditional structures. Whether these trends ultimately reshape electoral outcomes remains uncertain, but they are clearly influencing how political actors interpret the road to 2027. As Nigeria moves closer to another major election cycle, the battle for perception, momentum, and regional influence will continue intensifying. Conversations about northern political sentiment will remain central because of the region's enormous electoral importance and its ability to shape national outcomes. For now, one thing is already evident. The political map ahead of 2027 may not look exactly like the maps of previous elections, and that possibility alone is enough to keep political strategists across the country paying very close attention. Because in politics, sometimes the most important shifts begin not with official results, but with changing conversations that slowly alter what people once believed was politically impossible. That's all for now on News Express. And to our amazing viewers, kindly like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm Chidera Esom. Thank you for watching. Do have a beautiful day.